Among all the martial arts in One Piece, the one that sticks out the most is Fishman Karate. This form of fighting is used by many characters in the series. However, a lot of people don't know how it works, and that's why I'm here. Today, I'll be explaining Fishman Karate and Fishman Jiujitsu. To begin, Fishman Karate is a form of fighting that revolves around striking movements and using water to one's advantage. It was created, taught, and used by, well, fishmen, and the most skilled practitioner that we've seen is Jinbei. Jinbei stated himself that the essence of Fishman Karate is the control of water, and a common misconception is that wielders of this form need to be next to a body of water in order to be powerful, but that is not the case. Skilled practitioners of Fishman Karate can use the moisture in the air, groundwater, and even an opponent's bodily fluids to fight. But of course, being submerged in water enhances these attacks too. Surprisingly, this isn't just limited to fishmen, as humans have been seen using these techniques as well, although not to the same extent. See, whenever humans use this form, they mostly rely on striking an opponent's weak point, whereas fishmen just straight up manipulate water. The use of water is never explicitly stated when humans use it either, so it's up in the air as to whether the humans that we've seen aren't skilled enough to use water like Jinbei does, or it's a fishman only ability. But I'm willing to bet on the first option because the humans that we've seen use Fishman Karate aren't that high of a level. Speaking of levels, it's unknown what the skill rankings for Fishman Karate are, but we do know that Kurobi, the guy that Sanji fought in East Blue, was a level 40 master of the art, and Jinbei became a black belt as a child. So this is just conjecture, but if a black belt was already a master, then Kurobi would be far ahead of that, and present Jinbei would be leagues above him. That's just my theory though. But what can skilled users of this form do, you may be asking? Well, most of Jinbei's techniques involve him punching at nothing and using the moisture in the air to carry the force of his attack, meaning that he can hit his opponents without even touching them. He can even use the water in a person's body to carry this force as well, as seen when he knocked Luffy with one punch. Due to him being rubber, Luffy is essentially immune to blunt force attacks. Jinbei was able to bypass this, meaning that skilled users of Fishman Karate have durability negation. Also, armament haki can be used to strengthen these techniques as well. But that's pretty much it for Fishman Karate, and while it may seem simple at the lower levels, just having knowledge in the martial art has been shown to be way better than basic brawling. However, I also want to go over the less well-known Fishman Jiujitsu. Most fans don't pay any mind to these techniques because, well, they're both martial arts, what's the difference? But if you look at both of these fighting styles in depth, you'll have a greater appreciation for how Oda builds his world. Just like in the real world, fishmen have a grappling form of fighting as well. Fishman Jiujitsu at the lower levels is mostly based off of wrestling and throwing your opponent. However, at the higher levels, a user can grab and throw water. And I'm not talking about just splashing water on the opponents. No, they can literally grab water as if it were a solid object. Sometimes this water can even be turned into complex shapes, such as when Hody used his Murasame attack against Luffy. Speaking of Hody, he does have some techniques that aren't necessarily Fishman Karate or Jiujitsu. However, they operate very similar. But since these moves aren't specifically stated to be either of the martial arts, I won't be covering them. So yeah, that was Fishman Karate and Fishman Jiujitsu. Tell me in the comments which one would you pick if you could only have one. Complete mastery in both of the Fishman styles or all of the Rokushiki techniques, which I made a video on right here.
10 bad bitches in a mash. Wrist on Millie, rock them diamonds on me dancing. When you working hard, then your money start expanding. I got model bitches wanna lick me like some candy. And them drugs come in handy. Last night, savage bitch